I wasn't expecting company, but if you stay out of the shrubs and flower beds, you could stay.
Give them a wave, Pops, now that you've invited them in. We're two old guys who enjoy playing sandbox and survival games together. I'm Uncle Craig. Go ahead and sit down. Let's visit for a while.
In one of the videos, Mickelan made a comment about adding mods. And as an old guy, there are some mods that I like to get added. So we're going to do that throughout the game for one of two reasons: quality of life, but then to add a little spice to the server, have some fun stuff. So let me show you how we're going to do that. We're going to hit load game. And the mods I'm going to start with load game. There we go. Load game. And the mods I'm going to start with are going to be the ones recommended by Splitsie, and I'll put the link. Both you'll see it in the video here, and then I'll put it in the description as well. We click edit settings and come down here to mods. I think I'm going to double check something too. In fact, let's do that now. Back out of here. One thing to make sure you do is in options, game. Right here, you'll want to set experimental mode. If you don't do that, I don't know if any of the mods work, but most of them won't. And then here you'll also want to get your mod.io consent settled. So you click that, it'll walk you through reading an entire terms page. And once you scroll down to the very bottom, then you can accept it and get that done. So make sure you take care of that. And then if you come down here and load game, we're going to select going it alone, edit settings, and then mods. Then you get a list on the left of all the mods that you have accepted and added, or selected and added from the Steam workshop. And you can see I've actually used quite a few over the years and haven't ever really cleaned up my list here. And then on the right are the ones that you actually have, and you can see we have old astronauts, and then we have sneaky sounds, and this is one of Splitsie's mods too that makes the drill and grinder, those tools, quieter. And the next one we want to add in here is called BuildVision, and this will add some capabilities to what we can do with blocks without actually having to go into the control panel every time. So we'll put that in here to our active list, and we're going to say okay, and then we're going to select that one and load it. All right, here we go. I'm going to change my view to first person, and I'll show you how this works. Let's see, the connector here. Well, let's play around with the landing gear. We don't normally want the landing gear on, but let me show you how this works. If I'm aimed at the landing gear and I hold control, you see BuildVision pops up. If I scroll up, I get this really cool circular list of things. Now I let go of control now while I'm looking at it, and I can use my scroll wheel now to scroll through the different options. Some people like this approach. I find that there's too many things that are spread out. It's a little hard to keep track of them. So I'm going to right click to get rid of the BuildVision, control, and I'm going to scroll down one click. I like this kind of list view, and if you scroll up from the top, you can get to the bottom of it. You can see here I can switch the lock here. I don't have to go into the control panel. So if I switch lock, I do it again, it's off. Right click to get rid of the menu. So we're going to use that quite a bit as we move forward. Now I think we were working on this survival kit, and what I'm going to do is to take the components out of this survival kit right here. We haven't found silver yet that I know of. Let me check my GPS list just to confirm that. Yeah, the symbol for the silver is A something. I'll look it up. I know AU is gold. AG is silver, and so we haven't found any silver yet. So what we're going, and that's what's needed for medical components. If you look at the right, I need those 3 medical components, but I don't want to destroy the whole framework here, because that again would cause my rover to kind of fall to pieces. So, or my pod. So we're going to come down here. There's 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I'm going to leave that as is, just to keep this structure together. Later on, we may weld that back up once we find silver. We look here at the survival kit. That's really all it needs is 3 medical components. So there we have a functioning survival kit. All right, now it's a little awkward trying to get to that. So I think what I'll do is, let's see, go into my different hotbars. We need a different block style here. This one right here, light armor is all we need. And it's got several different options there for shapes for a 2x1x1 base. That is not what I want at the top, actually, is the flat platform. And then we'll put, I don't know, let's put it over here. Let's put another platform. And then we'll use this one to rotate it around, have a little ramp up there. And if I scroll wheel down one click, it gives me the other option. Spin that around like that. There we go. Now I'll weld these up just so it looks a little better. There we go. Now that one, that's the one I want. There we go. And I'm not concerned about color and stuff like that quite yet. But put that on the hotbar. Even put a block under here just to make it look official. Well, let's do this. I'm gonna grind off just like one steel plate here, and then put this block here, and get out our welder and right click that one. Come up here and we'll try to get all of the plates that we need. We don't need to do medical components anymore, but I do want to, thought I put those on my menu. Apparently I didn't. My build planner. Okay, let's grab those out. Can't get 14, so I'm going to shift middle click and it should queue those up for production. Right or middle click there and get the rest of the supplies. There, we should be good. I think I want to put one more block here just for aesthetics. There we go. Okay, so now we have quick access to our survival kit here on the base. This small little base we've got. Let me see here. Do we have a battery yet? I don't see a battery. And that's something that we'll need. And I usually like to put my battery kind of under the structure here, but I also was looking at this generator. And that's okay where it's at, but you know what would be even better, I think, is if it were underneath and kind of tucked in out of the way, so we could actually put it right down here. Now these are all attached to each other from there to there, so they have structural integrity. And if you look here, we can get that ground out and that ground out, and it's going to stay put. So I'm going to take this generator. Oh, okay, I'll go around the long way. Get in here and pull out the ice and the bottle. Good. And we're going to go ahead and grind it down. Hopefully I have inventory space, and it looks like I do. Come around here and place it under here instead. And we'll actually be able to put some things under here from it too, because it has the right kind of cargo or ports on it. And I think it's this. Is that right? Yeah. Refinery generator. Let's turn it this way and then spin it like that, and so that port is matched up to the bottom of that cargo container. Now we have our generator. I'm going to go through the end here, and I'm going to put the ice and the bottle back in. And let's see, that's good. Okay, with that tucked away, usually I like to be right under my tower. We're not quite going to be able to get there. I'm going to stick it right down here, though. We'll put it kind of out of the way. Right here, we're going to get a battery in place. I don't have those yet, so press G, battery, right click, and we'll just tuck that in right here. We may not have enough nickel. We know where to get nickel now, and we have a refinery that will produce it for us. Middle click and then shift middle click. And let's see how much nickel we actually have. Open up the whole system. Nickel, and yeah, we've got a bit, not much. We'll see if we can get the batteries out of that. We got 6 of them. We're going to need quite a few. So I don't want to make a lot of holes here yet till we get our drill ship in, but we have a drill ship. We're probably going to come in from down here. Yeah, so like right in here is probably where we'll enter. So I'm going to go ahead and get my drill out and start making a hole. Crouch down, make a hole into the nickel, and right about here I'll want to stop and start drilling. If I get a bunch of stone, I don't know, maybe I'll hang on to it and feed it through anyway for the other types of ore, ingots. I like to aim kind of right below the symbol that's on there for the ore that I'm looking for. And it isn't necessarily dead center of a deposit, but I consider it that until I get up to it. Yeah, let's walk on out. Oh, I got some more here. We'll just make it a quick trip up here. And I'm gonna I alt middle clicked and I'm gonna middle click to see what else we grab there.
Like, subscriber, get off my lawn.
Well, we're almost there already. Good, we just need a few more power cells. Let's go get a bit more nickel. I'm not sure even how much I collected there. There's our hole. Let's grab these things at the beginning, which are probably just stone. And I can't tell whether I'm hitting the nickel or not. Sure I am. Yeah, there it's kind of shiny. You can see it on the left on my screen. Once we get the battery set in place, really our power situation is in a good state. We'll add more batteries, more turbines as we need to, but it gives us a real good start. And we're right in a good rich deposit here of nickel. We'll drill around our feet. That's good enough. Let's get the rest of those. Now we're gonna have to jetpack up a little ways. And once we have a ship, see, I need to drop down and crouch because I was crouched when I made that hole. When we get a ship, this will all be a lot easier. Middle click. We got everything we need. We should have this battery up and running. Now if I hold control, scroll wheel down one, I can see the things I can do with the battery. Of course, I can change the mode. If I left click it, I can change the mode to recharge to discharge. For now, I'm just going to leave it on auto. And I can turn it off in the terminal. I find it gets annoying when you get so many things lit up in your terminal. So we're going to turn that off. We're, of course, going to leave the battery on. Right click that. And so this is going to be charged in. Let's find out. We'll type battery. It's going to be charged in minus 10. That seems odd. Okay, so current stored power is, well, look at that. It's a fully charged battery. I expected it to be about a quarter. I'm not sure why it's almost full, but that's nice. We'll take it. We'll take it. Now, we definitely need more power coming in. Yeah, that's what I was hoping to show you, is that we're definitely not getting enough power in. I think, in fact, let's go here. I think battery, we have input. Current input is 92.91 and output is 87. So we're just barely drawing in enough to cover the base in kind of a state of calm, idle. So let's go see if we can get these other turbines up and going. Get the material we need for those. Put those on the build queue. I can look into any of these ports. Well, I need a big one for some of the materials. So we'll middle click and then I'm going to shift middle click. Get that stuff on production. We'll come real close to getting at least the base of all of these. Well, just the one, I guess. And while that's doing its thing, I'm going to go down for one more load of stone. Probably should get iron, but I'm going to get stone so I can get all the different ore covered. And what I should do is go get that unknown signal there, just because it'll give me components that are already crafted, assembled. Turn off my HUD markers. Dump that in there, and before I do the wind turbines, I'm going to go find that unknown signal. There it is. Stay close to the ground. I think it's very close. More money. I gotta put some of these tools in the storage. I don't actually need them. Where's the button? Button. Why am I not seeing it? Come on, roll over. There we go. Hey, crocodile rifle. I didn't know crocodiles could operate a rifle. Or maybe it's a rifle that shoots crocodiles. At least we didn't get stiffed this time. There's ice down there, but we got plenty of snow and ice around, so I'm not going to mark that one. The thing I think I'm going to do is take out these trees with my grinder. We are very likely going to be flying ships in and around here often. So better not to have the trees in the way. Oh, yeah, see, the battery is low. I'm wondering if I was reading that wrong. Let's go take a look again. Hey, battery. I must have been reading it wrong. A stored power 99932, max stored 1 megawatt. That's weird. I don't know what I'm misreading there. Seems like that's close to being fully stored, but if you look at the side, one light means that it is less than 1/4, or actually a little more than 1/4 powered, stored power. So let's dump those things in there. Then I'm going to middle click to pull stuff out, and we'll see if we can get this loaded up. There's one. There's the second one. Looks like we may get all 4 online, which means we have 5. Nope. Motors. Okay, so my build planner is empty. I'm going to right click. Sometimes that happens, and I figure it's something I'm doing that's making that occur. I just reload it again and go for it. There we go. Now, something I haven't shown you before. If you look at that wind turbine on the right-hand side little menu, just below the picture of it, it says PCU 55. On a lot of servers that you play on with other players, there will be a PCU limit. Each block you put in has a PCU limit. The light armor block is 1. Survival kit is 140. A lot of servers you'll have a limit of like 100,000 PCU, so just keep that in mind. You are limited to how many blocks you can, how big your structures can be and how complex they can be. Very complex blocks take more PCU, like 40 there, and like the 140 here, and then some of them take very few, like the light armor. So just keep that in mind as you're building. Let's see, so we've got that set in place. Let's look at our power production now. Press K, and battery, and my input now, let's see, current input 98. It should be higher than that, I think, but that's decent. Let's look at the turbines. Maybe I'm missing something here. This has current output is 371, yeah, and it's optimal. These are all optimal, so 371 for all of them. So I think the battery it can only take in at a certain rate, and you heard from the lady that my energy's low, so I'm actually gonna use this survival kit. So what's our next phase? Well, I want to get a miner built in order to get more supplies, because we are soon going to construct a full-size refinery and assembler. Let me show you. Here you can see the full-size assembler, and on the right you can see I can also build alternates of that, an industrial version of it, which is just cosmetic. Really, it's huge. It looks really cool and it's fun because you can walk around in it. But then you have the standard one, and then you have the one we have, which is the basic assembler. We're going to want to replace it with an actual assembler, and we're going to want to be able to speed that up with modules, and we'll show you that later. So I'm going to, let's see, I think on this first menu there's the basic assembler. I'm going to replace it with this one. And then the other thing we're going to want to replace is the refinery, which this is all the options for the refinery. Again, the basic one that we have now, an industrial one, which is just cosmetic, is kind of big. We're just going to stick with the regular refinery. Again, it's got 4 places for modules on it, and I'm going to replace that right here. Okay, so that's our next things. We're going to build those, but to do that I need some good good input of raw material. Now we've got the pod that's connected here. I'm not ready. Well, I probably could be ready to kind of move this. No, unknown technology. That's weird. We're gonna. Oh, I need to build a cockpit or something. We're gonna hang on to the pod, I think. So I don't want to take that out. We're gonna want to put another connector on, and I can put it on any port. I can put it anywhere I want, but it only is useful if it's on a port, so that things that I pick up can be brought into the cargo container. You can put one here, which would be nice because we've got this slope, so that I could fly in here and not worry too much about the ground level. On this side, we really got to worry about the ground level and our little ramp. We could move that. In fact, I am going to move it a little bit here. But yeah, let's leave it there. I'm going to move it in though. Less material and more compact design. So we'll put the ramp. Come on, there we go. We'll put it 7. We'll put it right here. What's wrong? Oh, there we go. There. And then scroll wheel down to the ramp. And so we've got that. Weld it up. And we can do fancy stuff with the appearance of it later. Painting and things. And I'm going to put the rest of the material in there. So I think we'll put a connector on this side over here. See what's on our planner. Nothing. Connector. We will add that here. Middle click to get the material. And then I think on the second hotbar I've got it right there. And I like the light on the top. It kind of helps later on when I have a camera on the back of my ship that I build. So, whoops. Let's get rid of that one. The ship that I build, because it will put the stuff in the production. It will make it easier to kind of back up and line things up. I'll put a connector on the back and then a camera above that, and I can line it up very easily the way that's set up. Now let's go over here where I can get in. Still trying to get steel plates and such. Let's check the production, see if it needs anything. No, it's just time. So just to summarize though what we did there, we're going to build a drill ship. We don't necessarily want landing gear hanging off the bottom. We don't need to land anywhere, we just need to dock. So I needed to get a small grid connector on this large grid connector. But to do that, I needed to have a small grid block to put the connector on so that it turned into a small grid connector. To do that, I need to make sure it's lined up well, and so I put a couple blocks out and one down on the ground that I could put the landing gear on, the small grid landing gear, then put the blocks up and fed them out as you saw me do to this location, put the grid on, and then with BuildVision I was able to lock the two together, and now I have a place from which to construct my drill ship. Now we're probably not going to get it all done in this one video, but what we will do is get ready to do it. So let's go to, see, this right here is cargo containers, but they are all a large grid, I believe. So let's take a look here. Well, no, they could be small grid. Interesting. Let's see if I get my medium cargo container. Look at that. We'll rotate it. I know the conveyors are a little bit different than that, so we're going to put one of those on there. through this port that you can see lit up in the background, I can actually, if nothing's on my build planner, get the components that I need, and then shift middle click to have it produce the rest of them. And again, we're going to follow Splitsie's design for all this. There we go. We're going to keep this very simple and small. Get these HUD markers off. So we've got the one cargo container. We're then going to put a cockpit on there, and I don't think I have one of those on my menu yet. Put this one. And if you notice, it's got a large grid port on the bottom, but on the back, it's 2 small grid ports. Well, that's not going to work very well. So before I put the cockpit on, what I'm going to want to do is convert the ports. And so let's see if I have conveyors on here yet. I don't. We'll go to conveyors. The ones we want are right here. And in this grouping, we have one that is a conveyor converter. One side it's small ports, and on the other side it's a large port. Let's see if it snaps it in right. It doesn't. Let me flip it over, and that's the way we want it aligned. This would not be helpful, because in the cockpit, it's on the left and right that the ports are looking to connect. So we're going to put it like that. We don't have the components. Do we have anything on the build planner? No. And that should do it. Nope. So I'm going to shift, middle click, and then middle click. Yeah, got enough at least to connect it. Need a couple more things. Oh, there we go. There we go. All welded up. Now, if I go to the cockpit, number 9 on my hotbar, now I can spin this around and hook it up, and those small grid ports are lined up. Right click to get it on my build planner, and then right here I should be able to get what I need. Possibly. There's some things that may not come through that port. Let's get a large port like right here. I can kind of see in there. Bulletproof glass. You know, I bet you it needs a lot of silicon for the bulletproof glass. Let's check. Production. Oh, it's making it. One more. There we go. Okay, then since it is a drill ship, we need a drill on the front. So press G, drill, and this right there. Now that's not correct, so let's spin it around. Right there. And it's got ports on either side. We are actually going to go straight to an advanced setup, I think. Yeah, let's do that. So Splitsie's video shows it with the one drill until toward the end. He shows that you can add a second one. Where is my conveyors? That's here. Actually, what I'm going to want is something different than that. Convey. Actually, let's do cargo. What I'm looking for is this. So we'll put that right here, and I'm going to put one right there. I'm wondering, I'm going to double check something, because if I could put cargo in there, that's even better. There we go. I can. No, I can't, because it's only got the 2 holes. So I do need to use the conveyor. So we're going to use a small grid conveyor. Put that here once I get the parts for it. What do I have on my build queue? There's that. Let's use the large port sometimes. That's the reason I can't get my supplies. Put it on here. Okay. And then we're going to make the modification right from the start. We're going to go ahead and use this side port on the drill right there. Now to do it, I actually need to put a block here and here, at least temporarily, so I have a place to attach the drill. And now they're connected up. So now anything that comes in through the drill will go through the conveyor into the cockpit, and that can move then through to the rest of the ship and the system. And when it's ore, it'll go through any size port. Let's see, large grid. Yeah, I should be able to pull anything I need out of here. See how my supplies are going. Yeah, it looks like I have plenty of supplies, so I'm not going to go and pick anything up for now. Just taking a little time for it to construct these. See what I can get done here. Oh, I thought I was feeling a little lethargic. Get some more energy. You'll notice my base is pretty exposed right now. We're not worried about that at the moment because there really isn't anybody that's going to be coming and doing me any damage. Let's see what's going on in production here. Huh. Let's go to this connector, see if it has to do with the port that I'm in. Yep, it does. Why would that be? Large grid, large grid, large grid. I don't know. Oh, the small grid converter. So some of the supplies I needed that were already built, like the large steel tubes and I think even the motors, they can't pass through the small ports. And that converter converts things from a large port to a small port before it gets to the cockpit. So, all right, so there we go. That's just the beginning. We're going to get thrusters and all kinds of other stuff on there, but that is the core of the drill, and we'll come in and complete the rest of that later. So as the sun, let's see here, I think it is going down. It goes down for the day. We're going to see if I can myself. There we go. We're going to go ahead and call it a day, and we'll catch you next time. Forgot how to get into, I think it's, there we go. Oh, there I am. Still have the cursor though, but it's not in my face. Anyway, guys, hope to see you in game, guys. Have fun.